Welcome to Voices of Impact, a show where dreams and passions meet action and change makers unite. We are your co-hosts, Kathy and Brad Lambert of KBL Impact Partners. You can find us locally in your city on My Genre Radio FM, Monday through Fridays at 2 p.m. Central. Also, we are televised on Valuable Television Network at 4 p.m. Central and Urban Core Television at 3 p.m. Central. You can find all 100 plus stations at A2 Media under radio and television tabs.
We are so excited to be with you today. Our guest is Krystal Barnett. She's an educational advocate who is the founder and CEO of Bridge to Hope STL, which is creating a movement to disrupt educational inequities in St. Louis. Bridge to Hope does this by building parent power to fight unfair systems and policies in education.
Krystal personally experienced these unfair systems when she was enrolled in a desegregation program in St. Louis, causing her to attend a wealthy school in the suburbs. In 11th grade, her mom was told at a parent-teacher conference that Krystal didn't need to bother thinking about college. Krystal used this as fuel to ignite her commitment to fight for herself. First, she attended Job Corps, where she was told she had to go to college. She followed through and graduated from St. Louis University in 2009 with a BS in Health Information Management and Information Systems and received the National Honor Society Award.
Prior to launching Bridge to Hope, she worked at Wells Fargo Advisors. Then she took a leap of faith to become an entrepreneur and start her own venture. Krystal is a fierce advocate for children and parents with a big heart for helping others. She also loves writing poetry, singing, and is always looking for opportunities to give back to her community.
When we come back, we will be joined by our guest today, Krystal Barnett.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
What are you looking for?
Krystal, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you
And
for
tell
having
us
me.
a little bit more about your personal journey and how it led you to start Bridge to Hope.
I think my experience in the DSEC program and also seeing so many parents who didn't know how to navigate is what started my fire. But I think as we continue to canvass our community and talk to people, people care about education a lot, but didn't know how to navigate through those systems and help their kids. So we started Bridge to Hope.
Wow. So what do you say is the primary mission of Bridge to Hope, and what do you see the impact of your work being in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years?
Our primary mission is we want to equip, connect, and engage our most vulnerable people closest to the problems and make sure they can navigate and advocate for quality schools for all kids.
Where do you see the organization going in the next 3 to 5 years?
I eventually want to grow it to help high school students. We want to open it up for adult literacy support as well.
Okay.
And then we'll continue to do the Parent Education Advocacy Academy and do some policy work because we need the laws to change so that it matches the need of the community.
And when did you start the organization?
In 2019.
2019.
Wow.
Okay.
Amazing. And the work that you're doing. And, you know, I think about your own experience. You share with us a little bit more about that?
It was unique. I wasn't a bad student, but maybe not a focused one. When I got to 11th grade, they had a conference with my mother, 6 teachers, and myself. They told me I would never go to college. That I just
Never
needed
go to college?
That I just needed to like go get a job, not even go to trade school. I think it made me angry, so that's what fueled me the most.
Yeah.
But I saw the sadness that happened to my mom, not having people there with her in those meetings, not knowing what to do and feeling despair from that type of communication.
Was your mom a single mom?
Yes, my father
Yeah.
died before I was born, so my mom's actually a widow.
So she really, do you have any other brothers and sisters?
I do. They have separate moms from me, but I have 3 other siblings.
Yeah.
I'm
Did
the
they have
youngest.
similar experiences with the desegregation and
No.
going to different schools? Or?
They're much older than me too.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we had different school experiences.
Yeah.
So having that experience, I can't even imagine what you felt like.
I felt like no person could tell me what I could do or achieve,
Good
but
for
it
you.
also, I think it's the opposite for other people. Sometimes people hold on to those thoughts and don't go to do things that they should go do because someone told them they can't. So it's like the give up effect. I'm relentless.
Yes, you
I had
are.
something to prove.
I
so
know you are relentless.
Fierce.
I had something to prove, and that's what I did. I did
And
everything
you
they said I
did
couldn't
it.
do. Yep.
I mean, you went on to college.
I
You
did.
went on, and you got these awards, and now being able to give back to others and to help other moms and families. I mean, that's huge, Krystal, and giving hope to the community.
Yep.
And that's what's needed, especially within our city. And I look at the violence and with our youth and what you're doing that makes such a huge difference.
Thank you.
Such a-
Even finishing college and taking a job in the corporate world, that burning desire wouldn't go away, I guess. You just felt like
yeah.
you had to take this leap of faith and
I feel like it
start
was a
this
calling.
organization.
My original plan was to continue to work in Wells to go be in the senior leadership.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When I met some people who asked me did I want to learn about building a movement for parents to fight for education equality.
Really?
And that's really how it started. And when I've learned how much of a difference a lot of kids in Missouri were getting from even my own children's experience is what made me get out here and say, oh, this has to change, and now.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of, maybe a parent that, has gone through your program? I mean, and give an example of like a difference that it's made for a child.
We've had parents who've come through the program who were illiterate themselves. We were able to connect them to resources to help support them, their family structures, and their kids. Wow. Last year, we had some parents who graduated but pursued better job careers.
Really?
And got some resume help, things of that nature. People come into Bridge to Hope believing that it's impossible, and they leave out believing not only that it's possible for their kids, but it's possible for them. So.
Absolutely. So they come in really I can just picture that and feeling hopeless.
Sometimes.
And what you do is you provide hope and a pathway. You provide a way to get there.
The pathway is the most important.
Yeah, yeah.
And how do they find you? Word of mouth? Or?
It's a lot of word of mouth because we've been here long enough for people to know what we do. We meet people organically at tabling events or at their homes during canvassing, phone calls or referrals. So we're making our way through the community one parent at a time until we reach all the people that need our support.
One parent at a time, helping them to have a voice,
yes.
Right? And to advocate and know to be able to stand up. I know the work that Brad and I had done previously with the organization we were with, what I would hear so many times from specifically the single moms, the parents, and many of them were single moms, but they would tell us they didn't know how to talk to the teachers.
Yep.
They didn't know what to say. So do you teach them how to do that? What are some of the things that you do to help them?
PAA is like a skill building.
And what's PAA?
So Parent Education Advocacy Academy is like the skill building space. You learn how to talk to your teachers, set goals for your kids, understanding your reading information. What does it mean for your child, where they actually are, and then where you want them to go. Another thing we learned is it's not just single moms who go through this. It's two-parent households, it's grandparents raising kids, it's young parents who need that support. Just anyone who doesn't understand how to navigate K-12 could utilize the PEAA skill building, yes.
So this is one of your core services then, PEA?
That is our biggest program.
Your biggest program. Okay.
And it's a parent
Education Advocacy Academy.
So
Okay.
PEAA,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. Are there other programs across the country that are like this that you looked at, or how did you come up with this?
Not like ours.
How is yours different?
It was built with the community. So when we first started, it was called the Public Advocacy Fellowship. There are some duplicated across the states. But PEAA came from all of the research we did from our community, all of the surveys, and then us knowing that trying to get someone to look at it macro doesn't help them if they don't understand how it directly ties to them on a micro level. That's what made us build PEAA.
You know what I think is amazing is how you did this within the community, with the community. So many times programs, people have ideas, right?
They do.
And think, okay, I want to do this, and think, okay, we can do this, or I can do this.
Right.
And without even engaging the community, and it's not even what the community wants her to be a part of.
Indeed.
And you started, like you said, at the grassroots level.
We did. But my team is from the community also.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ms. Blue, one of our organizers, came from cohort 6.
Yeah.
Samantha, who used to work for us, came from cohort 1.
I know Samantha.
Right? Like, it's so many people who are staff at Bridge to Hope who actually use the services. And then the people that we've connected with are connected to all of us. So we are the people that we serve. We didn't think we had
That's
an idea.
awesome.
I love that. You are the people that you serve.
We are.
Amazing.
Okay, we are going to pause now for a short break, and we will be right back with our special guest today, Krystal Barnett.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Voices of Impact, and we are here today with our special guest, Krystal Barnett, founder and CEO of Bridge to Hope. Krystal, what have been a few of your biggest challenges in establishing and really getting traction in the community, doing what you're doing?
I think sometimes people are confused about what we're trying to achieve.
Okay.
Our goal is to help parents in the Promise Zone schools. There's 10 of them, but we also will help any family who wants to learn how to navigate K-12. I also think they don't understand that we do care about public schooling, but we want all schools where kids are to be doing well. So if that's not happening, then we're going to have put some type of pressure on you to get some things going so the kids actually achieve for the time they're in those institutions.
So is there like resistance from the teachers or as to
No.
what you're doing, or
It's
where's
probably
the
like-
confusion and misunderstanding?
Probably from district leaders, because
Okay.
they say they want people to be engaged, but I think they want them to engage the way they want them to engage.
Okay.
And not be fully knowledgeable or have real understanding so they can engage long term for their kids.
So can you give an example?
I can. So part of being engaged is knowing where the money goes, going to board meetings, being able to have cohesive and competent conversations with school leaders.
Right.
And I think they just want parents to like show up and volunteer or come to some type of event they're throwing. And there's engagement beyond that that will help sustain a school system or a school building.
Right.
Wow. You mentioned about a promise zone. Can you share for people who may be listening or viewing this, that with the audience, what is a promise zone?
The schools that are the lowest performing in a metro area.
Okay.
Okay.
And you say there's 10 of them?
There's approximately 10.
And your
within,
focus is-
within the St. Louis
Yes,
region.
Yeah.
within the St. Louis
10.
region.
Wow. So you really engage with them.
We do.
And
We build relationships.
Yes, it's not really about a program, right?
No,
or a
it's not.
service, but it's that engagement and that transformation, and I always like to say that lifelong engagement,
Yes,
because it's a journey.
it is a journey.
It is definitely a journey.
And it will go beyond 13 weeks. 13
Yeah.
weeks is the beginning grounds.
Right.
What you do after and how you use the skills you learn is what I look to see.
What do you see through the parents once they learn those skills? Like, how are they different?
They're confident. They take on challenges. They can redirect their anger. They learn how to set goals. There's things they're trying to achieve. They know what they can mark them against. They can build their kids different and themselves. And then it takes away the blame or the pointing fingers, and it lets them know that relationship building is the key to your child's success, even
Yeah.
with the teachers and the school leaders.
Wow. What has been the response from teachers?
Teachers love us, but like, still, it's gonna take us some time.
Yeah.
Because teachers right now are under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of things being asked of them. There's a lot of growth that needs to happen in literacy specifically, and we want support from both sides.
Yeah, well, and I think I've read that a statistic within regard, you mentioned literacy, that what the third or fourth grade reading levels
Right.
is what for example, states will look to see where the students are, and that's how they determine how many prisons to build.
That is true. It's prison the pipeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what you're doing is helping to prevent that
Yes.
from happening.
And what I believe and what we know to be true is if a community is well informed, then they can put the right pressure in the right places to get real results. We need
Love
the
it.
system to change, the metrics to be different, the standards to be set so that no child is allowed to even go through K-12 and graduate functional illiterate,
Right,
which
right.
is currently how it is.
So, Krystal, you started in 2019, you said. 2020, we all know what happened, COVID. Schools closed. We went to virtual learning. How did that impact your business model, and how did you pivot to continue doing what you're doing?
We launched our first cohort in 2020 out of my living room.
So you actually did it during COVID.
We did. Cohort 1 happened on Zoom.
Wow.
Okay.
We had 36 people. on that Zoom.
36 people. These are parents and their kids going through this training, or just
Just
the
parents.
parents? Just the parents.
Just the parents.
Yes,
You had
okay.
36 parents.
Yes, ma'am.
It's amazing.
None of them who we knew. They were all strangers.
Really? Wow.
But something I heard you say earlier with the parents, you're doing more than just equipping them to be more active and involved in their kids' education. You are also providing them resources that they needed to help build themselves up.
Yes, that's the connection
Maybe
piece.
literacy, or helping them with jobs or things like that.
I think it's the organizational partnerships that help us do that. Through Resource Week, we bring every single resource we can find as North City or St. Louis City or County, so they can come in and start connecting with those people directly, so that we have direct pipelines to get help for folks who need it. And if it's something beyond our scope, then we have someone that we know that can help in an immediate way and not like indirectly.
Beautiful.
That is amazing.
Beautiful.
Can you share with us like who were some of these partners, and what does that look like?
STL Black Authors, Ready Readers, some of our behavioral health, Mission St. Louis, people who have direct
Yeah.
services.
Yeah.
We want to partner with the Urban League eventually, because we know they do a lot of direct service in
Sure.
the city.
Sure.
There's so many partners I can't even name, but the point is like Bridge to Hope is not, we don't believe we can answer all things, but we do believe we can connect with the people that can help resource enough
Right.
things and support to stabilize the family.
Right.
Yeah.
So what type of resources do they provide?
It could be light assistance. It could be opportunities to open bank accounts. It could be furthering your educations, opportunities for summer camps, tutoring, knowing who Navigate STL is so you can find your schools. With STL Black Authors, they write a lot of Black children's books.
Yeah.
And a lot of authors are local from St. Louis, so you get introduced to that. So there's many opportunities for families to look beyond just academics to see how they can stabilize their kids and themselves.
Wow.
That's that's incredible. And I'm thinking about specifically too within our city that with homelessness. And are you able to assist parents that are homeless?
We can connect them to organizations that do.
And so you work with people that may be displaced and coming.
We have.
Wow.
We've worked with people coming out of domestic violence, people who've been assaulted, folks who are in between, we call them unhoused.
Yes.
People who need relocations, folks who have their own special needs, and then their kids.
Wow, that's incredible. And so you're able then to connect them with different resources and partners.
Yes.
Then to help them, it sounds like, to be stable.
Yes.
And doing that in turn helps their children.
It does. It's hard to focus on academics when you don't have your basic needs met.
Right, if you're hungry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect.
Yeah. Wow. So if somebody is listening and there's a great audience that's out there that I'm sure many people are thinking about either themselves or they know someone, a parent that may be struggling with with their children, how can they get a hold of you? How can they contact you?
The best way is through our website. We're also on every social media platform.
Okay.
Facebook is very active, so is Instagram. And if you write us on a message, you almost get a response in real time.
So what is
Okay.
can you tell us quickly what your website is?
It's www.stlbridge2hope.org.
All right. We are going to pause for a short break. We'll be right back with our guest, Krystal Barnett.
Meet the Scam, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Voices of Impact. Our guest today is Krystal Barnett, founder and CEO of Bridge to Hope St. Louis. Krystal, what's coming up with your organization in the near term? Any new projects or expansions or other news that you want to share with our audience?
I do. We have a program through PAA that serves children. We just start partnering with Restored for More. They are retired teachers who do high dosage tutoring. We want to expand that program so that we can offer it over the summer.
Oh, that's great. Have you started it yet this summer?
We started this past spring and we saw children grow in 13 weeks.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
kidding. So when they grow, what does that look like?
If you're coming in below proficiency, there are kids that grew up 5 points, 10 points on the testing scale. There's one child who grew beyond proficiency well into
In 13 weeks.
in 13 weeks.
You're kidding. So that proficiency, so I'm trying to understand. So is it maybe that they didn't know how to read, or literacy levels were low, or what does that look like?
Most of our kids in Missouri, 76% of them score below basic in their reading.
You're
76%.
Yep.
76, and they just keep getting passed on.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't think their parents really understand that, do they?
Not all the time.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's due to delays,
right.
but majority of it is just due to we need better reading teacher instruction.
Okay.
You know, the things they're working on now with training teachers, and then also for families, for them to be cognizant of what reading to your child actually does, but to make sure that they're reading back to you.
So what does that, so if somebody is listening and they're thinking, you know what, and I'm just thinking, you know, we have grandchildren, so thinking about what does that do? Like how does that help?
I'll be honest to say that reading to a child doesn't make a child read. So one of the things you could be doing is
Well, I always thought that, you know, it did.
It does not.
I
What it can
did.
do is foster a love for reading with your family.
Right.
But if you're reading off the books, then Miss Kathy, it's you reading, not your
Right.
baby, right?
You're right.
So I think one of the ways or things we can do differently is encourage our children to read out loud to us. It'll also start allowing for people to hear,
Yeah.
like, how does your child enunciate?
Yeah.
Is your child stumble over sentences? And then these are questions that families can start asking about if they notice anything that's different. But I also want to stress this, it's not the community's fault why a system doesn't work. The way it was structured and the way it was set up almost allowed for this to happen for years. And what we're trying to do now is build up the capacity on both sides so that this doesn't happen in the future.
So when you say that it was set up with the structure, like, I don't understand. Can you help us understand
Since
that?
1776, when the first school was established, it was established for scholars and workers. And if you look at the way the system is built now, there's very few people at the top that control the things and a whole lot of workers in the middle who are not navigating through life the way they could. And literacy plays a big role in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we want to do is equip our families and children to be able to be the scholars, the owners, the leaders,
Yes.
the entrepreneurs, the
Right.
things that my school's leaders told me that I could not do, that I'm
Right.
currently
Right.
doing now, right?
Right.
Right.
But we have to build their capacity, so we can't keep asking students to shoot for the stars, but we haven't prepared them for how to get there.
Yeah.
That is so key right there that you
Amazing.
said. Can you say that again? I think that's such a key point.
We can't keep asking kids to shoot for the moon if we haven't gave them the rocket to get there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we need to provide that rocket.
We do.
And as parents and community.
So how many families would you say you've touched since you started?
Since we started, we've met over 6,000 people.
What?
But through our program, we've served over 400 families.
Okay.
Wow.
Could you share a
Wow.
success story of a family?
I actually have one. So a young man just graduated from high school. He was on our Bridge to Hope video. He was having
Yeah.
trouble at school, and he told them the reason that he was having trouble was because he couldn't read. But he graduated as one of the speakers. He spoke at his own graduation. He had scholarships to college. He's the complete opposite of what people expected him to be. And it's a good example of how equipping and connecting a family can really help a child get what they need, and that child advocated for themselves. So it's all three. I think they work together.
I was just
on
going to
his behalf.
say, yes, that's incredible. So it's not only just the parents, but you're also empowering and equipping the youth, the child.
Yes. I think the missing voice from the education conversation has always been families,
Yeah.
because they never feel like they belonged in an educational or collegiate conversation. And to me, you're the owner of those kids.
That's right.
Without you all, there is no schools.
That's
right.
So you should most certainly feel welcome and knowledgeable and connected to a place that you send your children to.
Wow. That's incredible. That's amazing.
So if anybody's listening and they want to make a difference in their community, but they're not sure where to start, what advice would you
Then
give
come out
them?
and volunteer.
Come out and volunteer. Okay.
So what do they do when they volunteer?
You can come canvas with us. You can come work in the office with us. You can make phone calls to connect with families with us. You can volunteer any events that we have, or you can connect us to people that you know that need that support. All of those things are how we keep our community connected and unified.
Now, when you say canvas, what's involved
It's
with
when
that?
we go out, like we're getting ready to have one coming up on the 22nd. So we'll go out in the community, we'll knock on doors, we'll talk to people about the new legislation that just came out, what the laws are so they can be knowing what to look for next year when school starts, and then how to connect to the work that Bridge to Hope is doing, and if they want to get involved or they think they need our support or services, this is how they can start signing up and start having conversations.
So can you share with us, what is the new law that came out?
Senate Bill 681 was a good law that Missouri passed, but it made that no one or no parent or family cannot know where their child is within the first semester of school. So if they test your kids coming into school every year, but they have to send letters home to families now to inform you, especially if your child is more than a year behind. And if that's true, your child is supposed to receive an individual reading plan or a success plan support, and that came from DESE, the Department of Education.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow,
Were
that's
you able to
great.
go to Jeff City and participate in any of those discussions?
We did some of that advocacy work. There were so many people who went up there who did testimonies from many other organizations. There were lobbyists up there working on this legislation. But what it does is it doesn't allow for school entities not to tell parents what's going on with their kids in a very concise way.
It does or doesn't?
It does not.
It does not.
So now you will have to be informed. Like
Yes.
you won't, instead of you learning in 6th grade, your baby's in the 3rd grade, you can learn in 3rd grade that your baby's behind, right?
Okay.
And you can start, you're
Okay.
supposed to be set up with a plan that helps your child not stay where they are, but grow every year.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible what all you're doing. Can you, with our listeners and viewers out there, will you please share again your website?
Yes. It's www.stlbridge2hope.org.
And you are always welcoming volunteers. That's what I heard.
Volunteers.
Yes, you love
can meet Ms.
volunteers.
Blue.
I love that. That is great.
Are most of your trainings done through use of volunteers, or?
Some are in-house and then some are external.
Okay. And I assume you do a lot of that yourself?
No.
You don't?
The organizing director,
Okay.
Ebony, does a lot of the campaign work training. All Day does a lot of our communications. Ms. Janelle is our ops person. Cheyenne is one of our organizers, has a lot of
you got a SWAT
experience.
team.
You do have a SWAT team.
So we got a pretty equipped team.
Yes, you do.
Well, that's great.
That's
great.
amazing. So do you see having your model and the work that you're doing being replicated across the country?
I would like PEAA to be replicated. I believe PEAA can work in any state, for any school, at any time, for any parents K through 8.
That's awesome. That is wonderful. So that can be all kinds of possibilities.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And I also think that we should catch parents early. So people coming out of early childhood facilities, going into kindergarten, PEAA would be a good place for them to start. So going in the door, you already know what to start looking for when you get in the system.
All right.
That is so wonderful. So if you're out there and in the audience and you're interested in knowing how to get this program into your community, you can reach Krystal at your website again.
STL Bridge, the number 2, hope.org.
All right.
Thank
We're going to
you.
pause now for another short break, and we will be right back with our special guest, Krystal Barnett.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Voices of Impact. We are here today with our special guest, Krystal Barnett, who is the founder and CEO of Bridge to Hope St. Louis.
So how has your role, Krystal, as founder and CEO of Bridge to Hope influenced your own personal growth and development?
I've matured quite a bit. I think I do the work with more love than maybe how I started off. I truly do believe in relationship building, so Even if there were bridges I needed to go back to and fix, I've been doing that. And I also think that it shaped or shifted the way or the things that I even believe that I can achieve.
So can you share with us what that looks like?
I've had to do the PAA process with my own daughter. So it's not just like a theory, it's a lived experience for me that I'm currently walking through myself. It has gotten me to greater heights for my child and where she needs to go next. And I believe that it showed me that our work does work. Like our skill building, our knowledge base, it works. I had to work it.
So when you say as you had to work it, can you give us an example? Like what does that look like?
My daughter was 2 years behind. She's getting ready to be moved to the 7th grade. We're skipping the 6th. We had to get some supports in place. She has a whole team that I just met with literally this morning.
You're kidding.
I had to speak to Lauren to make sure that she was equipped and ready to make that jump. I talked to her about all the opportunities, what it would look like for her to get kind of back on track from how we got off. And then I also involved my family the same way that we do with our families at Bridge to Hope, so that she feels supported the whole way through.
So it sounds like there's a team.
There is a team.
And that team of support that you get going through this whole process.
Yep.
Is that right? We all need a team.
We all need a team.
We all need a
We
team.
all need that.
Yeah.
None of us can do it alone.
And we're that for our families.
Yeah.
We're their team.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I love that.
Describe the feeling, Krystal, when you've worked with a family for a period of time and the child completes high school and graduates, and you can look at that success and know that you played some part in it. How does that feel?
Joyful, grateful. I think it shows that there's a God. Like there's things that seem impossible that he brings and shifts for folks.
Yeah.
I'll say that it builds my faith in knowing that doing what you're supposed to do does get good results.
It does.
Even if it's a difficult role to do that. But it also helps you when you have to encourage those families to keep going, because it's not an easy process to navigate K-12. But it can be done, and it can be done well when you know how.
And you've seen it.
And I've seen it.
And you've seen these families, you've seen the youth that have graduated and gone on. So have you been able to document your outcomes and your measurements of the work that you're doing?
Yes. Our impact is growing.
Good.
And now that we've started tracking data,
Now
we'll build a base for how PAA, an indirect service, actually still helps children.
Right. So do you have any statistic to show that how many students, for example, that may not have graduated, but you've increased that graduation rate?
Not yet.
But you're collecting it.
We are.
Right? Because I can just imagine that there's so many that without your services would not have probably graduated and they would have dropped out.
It's possible.
Right.
And who knows what happens. So you're really helping with that social impact within our city and helping with youth to be able to be involved in positive ways.
Yes, I think Bridge to Hope gets a chance to show people how much positivity St. Louis really has.
Yes.
There's a lot of smart people here. There are a lot of people working hard.
Yes.
There are a lot of people who want this schools to work for kids. They want them to go beyond what even academics say they can do.
Right.
But I think sometimes it's hard for our families to see it.
Right.
And we have to show them and connect them to the people that are doing that work and show them how the work that they're doing is contributing to the things that they didn't think they could contribute to.
Right. Right.
It's like building their own belief in their value.
Yes,
without
absolutely.
us telling you that you're valuable. Like it's you doing it yourself almost. It's building your own power.
Right.
Sure.
Collectively.
Sure.
I love that. It's building your own power collectively.
Yep.
And where do you do your trainings and your classes?
At the Del Mar Divine, which is a blessing.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been there. It's great.
So that's where your office.
That's where our offices are. That's where we do all of our PEAA now.
Yeah.
That's where we do some of our events, our parent gatherings. Our parent socials are done online, but it's the time that we get together every other month so that parents can just talk about parenting things with each other.
I love that.
and find solutions
Yeah.
and share stories.
And they can find those together.
Yes.
And forming, basically what you're doing too is forming community
Yes.
and helping them to have that community and that voice.
The best thing about Voice is they already had it.
That's right.
When they get to Bridge to Hope, we just help them activate.
I love that.
I
You
like
help them
that.
to activate
I like
their
that.
voice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is so powerful. So as a nonprofit leader,
Oh, nonprofits. They are so interesting.
yeah, they are very interesting,
Yes.
right? So coming from the corporate world
Ooh.
and starting a nonprofit, what was that like?
It was a lot of I don't knows. It
Yeah.
was a lot of I don't knows. Like building a nonprofit, you don't really think about it as a business till the business stuff starts happening.
Right.
You're really thinking about your mission and
Yep.
what's driving the work
Yep.
you're
Yes,
doing.
yes.
But nonprofits are a business.
Amen.
So it's
That's right.
like paperwork and documents and bank accounts and fundraising. There's
Yeah.
so many things that I had to learn. I think that's the thing that grew me the most is I had to learn how to be a leader in a nonprofit space, how to run a company and properly train people,
Right.
how to build something that's sustainable without burning myself out. And I'm
Yeah.
still learning those things now currently.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone who has just launched a nonprofit and just beginning?
My best advice is do it, right?
Yeah.
So start it.
Yeah.
But the next thing is pay attention to the wisdom around you. You might not think
Great
you need
advice.
it. You might not think you need it at the time. I got a lot of things told to me and thrown at me at a time that I didn't really know what to do with it, but I know what to do with it now. So it's like soak up all the experts, the people, your mentors, people you trust that are around you, because it'll help ground you.
Yes. So is there something that if you knew before that you would have done differently?
Probably the way that I structured my team. I would have probably done differently.
So in what way?
You needed to get your management and staff in line first so that you can build stable work streams and hiring processes and things of that nature. And I was so committed to just doing the work that I didn't think about how the structure of the nonprofit needed to look in the beginning or what a really strong team should be like the one I have now. So even with the team that I have now, we're all working together so that we can learn and be the best leaders in our roles that we can be so that Bridge to Hope can expand.
Right.
That's awesome.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have today. Krystal, thank you so much
Thank y'all for having
for
me.
coming on and sharing the great work you're doing and the impact you're having in the community.
Yes, thank you. And once again, please give your website.
It's www.stlbridge2hope.org.
Thank you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in for Voices of Impact, where your mission ignites our commitment to making a difference. We hope you will join us next time, and until then, keep shining your light. Thank you.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Are you a nonprofit leader awake at night worrying about your organization's future? You're not alone. Did you know a staggering 30% of nonprofits don't survive past 10 years? Often it's a simple reality. No money, no mission.
There is hope. At KBL Impact Partners, we understand the value of every dollar and every donor. Did you know 58% of donors are willing to give more if they know the impact of their donation?
That's why we've created Frame Up for Funding, our exclusive 12-week program designed to empower nonprofit leaders just like you. Learn how you can effectively communicate, with donors and funders demonstrating the lasting impact of their investments.
Ready for a game-changing 2024? Visit kblimpactpartners.com today and schedule your complimentary consultation. Together, let's make your mission possible.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You're watching the TV network.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word. I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Thank you for joining us on today's enlightening episode of Voices of Impact. Remember, each one of you has the power to make a difference in this world.
With the KBL Impact Partners team of over 75 years of experience in the nonprofit and corporate sectors, we are with you on this journey. We stand ready as more than advisors. We are partners and mentors committed to your vision for a better tomorrow. It's about creating solutions that resonate with your unique mission with a dedication to personalized attention that brings out the very best in your organization.
And if you're ready to take your organization to the next level, visit kblimpactpartners.com and schedule your complimentary consultation. Ignite your impact, amplify your vision, and elevate your mission to lead the social movement.
This is Voices of Impact with KBL Impact Partners, where your mission fuels our dedication to social impact. Until next time, let's continue to be the inspiring voice of change in our communities and beyond.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.